been wrong. I know.
What is up, YouTube? We are back.
Yo, 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 yo. We ain't forget about you.
Still dialing it in a little bit on this end. Improving the stream here and there, little by little. Trying to stay as consistent as possible for everybody.
Got to get an intro with my name on it. I'm here too, bitches.
Right? We need the IT department. What's up, Solo? Mr. Dub in the house.
Oh, shit. Part of our studio audience.
Right? He said that he wasn't going to be able to make it today, but he'll try to be here for the next episode.
Dope. Hold up.
So here we are, man. I think we end last episode, we talked about all kinds of shit all over the board. A lot of shit's been breaking off since then consistently. I don't know about you, Red, but does Biden know he has 4 years to destroy the country? He doesn't have to do it in the first week.
Definitely set a record for the amount of jobs that he killed, but on the second day, and then they just kept piling on up. He's up to what's about estimated 70-something thousand jobs destroyed.
Gone.
Days into this thing.
Gone.
I mean, we're gonna get into it a little bit later about the executive order that he threw away, the Trump executive order banning China from having influence on our power grid, as well as the fucking oil shit. So yeah, I mean, it's all exactly what we said it was going to be, and
it's almost uncanny how on point we are with a lot of this stuff we're gonna get into today too.
Yeah, and just wait till you find out they're really communists, if you do have any doubt yet. Doubt left.
It's good. It's great too because we called this shit in like episode 2 of the podcast. You know what I mean? This shit happening right now. We were like, "Oh, that's gonna happen."
Yeah. Oh man, all these energy deals and energy connections with China. This is real. This is not fucking nonsense here. If this guy gets into the White House, China owns us.
What else? The new press secretary is a fucking dumpster fire that's not ready for that spot in the spotlight.
Yeah, the best story so far, one of the funniest stories so far has been when Biden was at, because I don't think anybody knows this because nobody has been watching Biden, but the night of his inauguration, they went to the Lincoln Memorial, him and his whole family there without masks, having a great time, and they asked him, you know, why they asked the press secretary, because nobody can get to Biden to ask him any fucking questions. Let me be clear on that. But they asked the press secretary why they were having no masks, and they said they were celebrating. And this was the same, or the day, maybe I think it might have been the same day that Fauci took his first press conference, saying how everything that they say and do is going to be backed by science. So if anybody gives you shit about socializing or doing anything that you feel like you want to do, just remember that science backs the fucking the celebration exemption.
Celebration makes you exempt from following executive orders. Apparently, I don't know if they had it written into the fine print. Biden can do whatever the fuck he wants, no matter what. But that's what he's been doing, and that's what she's been doing too. Considering the executive order he signed earlier that day said that you must have a mask on if you're on federal property. And I believe the podium where she speaks from in the press pool is federal property.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
So not just Biden, but apparently Biden's inner circle of advisors, they all believe it's rules for thee, but not for me.
Was she also the one to confirm that there are only so many hours in the day?
I believe so.
That was her. I couldn't figure out whose mouth that one came out of. I
I
just got
I think it was her.
I just got the drop that Biden that the White House confirms that there are only so many hours in the day.
Surprised they didn't spend $27 million to have that scientifically proven.
Even then, it'll be we think we're not 100% on this, but we're almost certain.
Yeah, near consensus. What a joke, man. What a joke. Well,
It's not that funny. It's not that fucking funny. I like a good joke as much as the next fat person. This shit ain't funny.
yeah, no, I totally agree.
We're making it funny, but it is not fucking funny. Laughter's the best medicine.
And there's going to be a whole lot of laughing, that's for sure. But
Remember
only
that
because it's better than crying.
yeah, exactly. Remember that when they come to give you your 4 shots, your no knock vaccination.
Yep, this is celebration, bitches. Get out. That's how that's gonna work. So I don't know if you could tell, but we upgraded the stream a little bit, trying out some new stuff. Hoping to, make it as nice as possible for everybody out there that's been enjoying it. I know that staring at a black screen on YouTube is not as entertaining as what we could do, so we're working on it little by little. But yeah, man, does he have any campaign promises that he hasn't broken yet?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I wasn't following his not. Well, he hasn't really taken out the NRA yet. He hasn't came for the guns yet, but I mean, the threats are there. It's just one thing at a time.
Day 3, he has to alienate 70% more of the.
Yeah. First things first was he had to destroy women's sports.
Of course.
Which is absurd. It's just the same pattern with these people. If you guys are following their thought processes, that they just an emotional fucking knee-jerk reaction with absolutely zero fucking foresight, zero thought into the future. I immediately after I saw that he just destroyed women's sports collegiately and probably maybe professionally going forward. This might be the beginning of it. It took me about 5 minutes smoking, chilling with my dog to come up with a much better fucking solution to pretty much the whole situation. So you have your boys' locker room, and I sort of did get this from a South Park episode. You got your boys' locker room, your girls' locker room. What's wrong with the trans locker room? Who the fuck could argue with that? Who could argue with that? Really?
Yeah, I mean.
And then going forward, as far as the sports teams go, you have the boys' league, you have the girls' league, and then you have the optional mixed league. Make it its own thing. And you could even eventually probably take that up to pro as if it fucking gets popular enough. But does that not fucking please everybody? Everybody meets in the fucking middle instead of forcing a huge chunk of the population to fucking have to settle. You know what I'm saying? And forcing some shit down their throats, for lack of a better words.
Yeah, and I mean the LGBTQ plus community, they could stick to their guns and not conform with a binary as well.
Exactly. Right? Does that not, like, literally, I could not think of a bad thing about this other than somebody just being fucking petty and arguing for argument's sake.
Yeah, I don't see why our government needs to be involved in any kind of decision making as far as sexual orientation go. That's not a good standard to set in general.
Mm-hmm. They've got much bigger fish to fry, like the Fed just fucking printing out fucking monopoly money.
Oh yeah, those money printers are purring, baby.
That's probably, out of all the many fucking cascading issues right now, what's going on at the Fed is probably the biggest one and the one that's going to lead us to the most trouble the quickest.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it's the one that's going to have the longest lasting effect as well. You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
women or trans women being allowed to compete with women is one thing, but that can go away with a signature on a piece of paper. But trillions of dollars in national debt, and especially if he signs another stimulus within 6 months of 100 days or whatever, like he says,
Mm-hmm.
for trillions more dollars. That's our kids, our grandkids, probably our great grandkids are all going to be paying for that.
Yeah, they're gonna be working in sweatshops sewing LeBron James's name 24 hours a day. But I definitely, man, I definitely gotta plug Ron Paul on that shit, because he opened my eyes to the whole game of the Fed, and I definitely recommend watching at least his opening monologue of the fucking Liberty Report when he puts that shit out every fucking day, every couple days. He knows what the fuck he's talking about, and since they canceled him on Facebook, he's back on a warpath of awareness and spreading the good bad news.
Yeah, he's the voice from beyond. Still, he's like the great and powerful Oz. You know what I mean?
Yeah. one of the many people who's who I found back in the day growing up looking for fucking information and guidance. Man, a lot of this shit came true.
Yeah, OG libertarian.
Yeah, yep. An actual libertarian.
Right.
Oh shit,
exactly.
We got Growly on the screen. What up, Growl?
Yep. What up, Growl? Well, let's see. Let's start off with what he's lied about so far. So he's already banned fracking on federal property. No more fracking permits.
Yeah, that was a bold-faced lie. I got, if we go to the Gab page, I actually could bring those up. I got those tweets on the Gab.
Pulling it up.
I'm going to share my screen. I just got to figure out where they are. First, before we end up jumping all over the place, I don't know if we're going to have time to put eyes on this yet, so I just want to make sure that we can. This story.
We can just roll through it as it goes, and then we could just talk about whatever we haven't gabbed so far.
All right, so just so everybody can see here, we do have a lawsuit against Twitter because there is a video of a boy being victimized. He reported to Twitter that he was a minor, provided his age, asked Twitter to take it down, and they replied that we did not find a violation in our policies. This is a real lawsuit. You guys can check this out.
Yeah, apparently the kid, like somebody trolled their way into talking the kid into sending him some pictures that aren't allowed on the internet.
Yeah, and some nudes.
The guy posted them on the Twitter. The kid contacted Twitter. Twitter told him that he must verify who he is first for them to do anything. So he goes through that process of verifying who he is, and then afterwards Twitter says, "Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't break any of our rules." So Twitter basically knowingly left Chomo material online, knowing that it was Chomo material proven.
Yes. While taking down far, far less risque fucking material.
For taking down complete profiles for keywords, basically. Yeah. Keywords, hashtags, loose affiliations, basically. That's wild. I think they should. I hope they lose every single fucking lawsuit, because there's going to be a ton of them.
They won't take.
If Poland and Mexico sign those laws that they're proposing right now, that if somebody gets censored for no reason, they have to pay $2 million per case.
Shit, they're gonna end up they're gonna pull in that Google shit, man. Google got threatened with by Australia that you're gonna have to start paying journalists, and they said that we're gonna take the search function from you. Don't be surprised if you don't start seeing the tech war. They're gonna just nope, no more Twitter and Poland, and that's just gonna bring everybody to Gab, baby.
Yep.
Bring that ass on down.
DuckDuckGo is the search engine of choice. It's actually really interesting if you want to give it a shot scientifically. Just type any search term into Google and look at the top 10 pages that it suggests, and then go to DuckDuckGo and type in the exact same search criteria, and then look at the top 10, and I could almost guarantee that there's 8 out of 10 are completely different stories.
Oh, absolutely.
Search results.
Absolutely. But I mean, I've been using Google so long, pretty much since its inception, that I know how to find what I want to find on it, you know?
Yeah.
I know how to keyword things to get what I want. It'd be weird for me having to fucking relearn a new search engine all over it again. But I mean, fuck. I have a post coming up here for when I do post that Australian shit. That because somebody brings it up that it really wouldn't be a bad thing to lose Google and lose Apple. You know, the information is still out there. It's just a search engine. And I just asked the question, you know, is there life after Google? Do you believe in life after Google? It's a very interesting, scary question. But back to Twitter, man, and not violating Twitter policies. The fuck do we have here? A Iranian magazine posting a fucking thread, a drone ship pulling up on Donald Trump. And I actually have the translation here on the page. Revenge is inevitable. So this was up for over 12 hours after, you know, numerous people were flagging, reporting it, saying, hey, Jack. And this does not violate.
That's, I mean, clearly a violation, clearly incitement. You know, they're one of their favorite new words. You know what I mean? Revenge.
Oh,
revenge
man,
is incitement.
We got to give them the 3 eyes. They got incitement, insurrection. What's the third eye for the fucking for the new Communist Party?
I don't know. We're gonna have to think about that one.
We're gonna have to come up with a third eye if anybody's watching. Because it's definitely not intelligence.
No, definitely, definitely not.
It's not integrity. It's not ingenuity. It's definitely not imagination.
Probably invasiveness.
Hey, that's a good one. That is a good one. That's a good one.
Eye in the sky. The eyes in the sky. George Orwell's like, did I call it or what?
Yeah, no shit.
It's like, I'm pretty good at this. And he was a socialist, and he could see the fucking, you know, the toxic future that socialism and communism and authoritarianism bring. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to believe in it, but it's a whole nother thing to have such an understanding as to being able to predict what's coming, you know, which we're just starting to tap into right now, as you'll see later on in the podcast. I could guarantee you.
So we have Biden's.
That was the rate of vaccination in America when Donald Trump left. Joe Biden signed an executive order saying that his plan was to give out 100 million vaccines in 100 days. So if anybody out there that is a couple of credits short of their math degree, those are exactly the same numbers.
Oh, and it's gonna get better. We're gonna definitely revisit Joe Biden's plan in a little bit.
Yeah.
But for anybody that wants to actually watch it, because I'm sure we'll probably get copyrighted if we do it, definitely check out this video. The link is right there. You can watch it. It's the whole thing of him signing bills and shit. So
the stack.
Appreciate it, honey.
Stack of fucking executive orders.
And you could probably hear him saying, I don't know what I'm signing in there too, unless they edited that out.
Did you see the video of him signing blank executive orders?
Just fill them in, baby. Just fill them in. Just like
Yep.
the checks I've been giving to Hunter his whole life.
Yep. Empty checks. That's exactly what he was doing, is signing empty checks. Honey Badger says, "Hey guys, listening while I get stuff done. I'll join the chat soon." Right on.
Appreciate you. Welcome. 7 Senate Democrats file ethics complaints against said Cruz and Hawley. And AOC is still afraid to go to work because the scary Republicans are there.
Yeah, she should just retire.
And then here we have, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I agree with you. If you're too scared, if you're scared, go to church, bitch. Get out of that building.
Yeah. Politics isn't for the weary or the easily PTSDable.
Yeah, exactly.
But even the Hawley Cruz stuff, man, like I don't understand how they're gonna
you could tell AOC
try to persecute those people.
You could tell she was a bartender and not a waitress. You know, she's used to the safety behind the fucking bar. She ain't been having to deal with fucking people.
For sure. It's like someone just walked behind her bar and opened her cash register. She doesn't know how to approach it anymore.
Oh, have whatever you want. Just don't hurt me.
Yeah. like Craig. But when they walk away, I'll be talking again.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, the going after Hawley and Cruz for voicing dissent on the floor of the Senate. Like, you do realize that's their job, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's in the job description. If you have objections, or you know what I mean, dissents from what's being proposed in the floor of the Senate, the place to stand up and speak against it is on the floor of the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the idea of making DC a state. People, like, you guys realize that DC cannot be a state because it's unconstitutional. It's literally written in the Constitution that DC cannot be a state. So you'd have to pass an amendment to the Constitution.
Constitution, schmonstitution. We're Marxists now.
Exactly. It's just a suggestion. It's no longer the supreme rule of the land.
We woke up and rolled a blunt with the schmonstitution.
Constitution was just a really old ship. The USS Constitution.
And that bitch done sunk.
That's crazy though. Like, how? It's so hard to explain. It's easy to explain. You know, they don't care about the Constitution. They never did. They think it's outdated. They think it's old. They think it needs to be getting rid of. But, like, this is how you're going to do it?
I've never met any of these people, though. I've actually never met any person face-to-face that said that they've wanted to throw out the Constitution. You know, they're the equivalent of the keyboard trolls, you know? They only come out on the keyboard.
Everybody that says that,
I'm not denying that they're not out there, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that everybody that says the Second Amendment only applies to muskets, those are those people. They just don't want to say it that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had those conversations in real life.
Yeah, I've definitely had that one, but not like, you know, fuck the whole Constitution. But I know they're out there.
Yeah,
but
and
they don't bring that shit to me.
They'll be getting more emboldened with all of this.
Yeah,
the happenings,
the imaginings.
Yeah, the ideaings.
A lot more imaginings than happenings, unfortunately.
It's sad. It really is. And just for the record, anybody that thinks that the Second Amendment was written for muskets, look up the Puckle gun. It's a fully automatic machine gun. It was, you know, in the old Western movies where the guy's cranking the wheel, like cranking the hand crank, and it's just letting off rounds. Yeah, that's a Puckle gun, and that was invented before the Second Amendment. So
I don't even want to entertain that shit, because being Americans, we are absolutely going to start taking each other out with fucking bows and arrows and shit. And I don't even want to play the game where we just investigate this path and then lose the bow and arrows, and then we're just shanking each other up and down the street like what they do in Jolly O. Fish chips and fucking shanks.
Yeah.
And then they're giving people life sentences for fucking carrying knives and shit. The fuck out of here.
And that kind of goes back to one of our old points about one of, and you know, in one of our past podcasts, that the Democrats are actually fighting. They're fighting over actual ground. You know what I mean? And everybody else that's not a progressive, radical progressive is like playing defense. Like, oh no, you can't do that because of this. And like, there is no policy where we are demanding anything. We're just trying to stop the invasion right now. But without going on the offense, we're only going to lose ground. We have to shift it back to center somehow.
It's happening. You don't think that soccer moms across America are going to be so upset when they get back to fucking, when things get back to normal, and they're going to find out that
kicks in.
I'm sure it's already happening. The energy industry, the state of New Mexico. I'm sure the suburban moms across the country are definitely not admitting it, but they're thinking, how's this going to work?
Yeah. And I think it's good. That number is going to multiply by the day from here on out.
Just wait till the gas prices and then your first paycheck of that new year.
Yeah, exactly. Gross says was hanging out with Williams the other day. Got him on your podcast.
Oh, sweet.
Right on, man. Yeah. I hope he does tune in, jump on the panel one day. He'd be a good guy to talk to.
Williams is a smart man. Shout out to Williams if you're out there listening. So this is a
man, whenever you want. If you want to jump on panel.
I'm glad that this is next. I wanted to pop this up here when you just said that it's time to get on the fucking offense. What up, Gustav?
What up, Magusta?
Gustav!
Thanks for joining chat.
So you just made the comment that we're just on the defensive and it's time to go on the offensive. Somebody said something sort of along the lines that yesterday that China's taken over the world without firing a shot. And yeah, he might be right, but therefore you can resist and you can right the ship, you can plug the leak without the violence that some fucking people are calling for.
Right. Yeah. If they can do it, then it's obviously possible to do it exactly. In response as well.
And the efforts that are being put into fucking suppression are for a fucking reason. Because the power of information, the power of communication.
Yeah, the power of cutting communication. If anything is going to unify this country, it will be censorship.
You would think so. I mean, I definitely thought it might have been Epstein, but boy, was I wrong about that.
Yeah, some people still don't even believe Epstein. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, no, that was just one guy. One weirdo. Okay.
They live in a very small world.
Conversation.
Yeah. Or we won't, which is starting to look like we won't.
Right. I really hope we do, man. That's crazy. How could, I mean, it's redundant questions. You know what I mean? How could we let this happen? But we all know how we let it happen. Ooh. It was because they're connected to the people that are making the rules.
Oh,
and
shit.
Just like everything else, rules for thee, but not for me.
I fucking gotta bring that tab back up. 1 second.
It's wild. But yeah, that does go to show that if people do think that China's taken over without firing a shot, then I mean, equal and opposite reaction. We should be able to make up ground just the same without firing a shot. With leaning on principle. That should be the win, you know. Principle should always be what you base your every fight on. And if it's not, then you're doomed to lose. And it's scary because they are also standing on their supposed principles, even though they're not built on as solid of a foundation, but they're acting on their beliefs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
China believes it should be the ruler over everybody. So
It's not so much the nation, just one guy,
yeah,
just one guy, and a couple of the people that are around him.
The ruling class.
Yeah. All right, now where was I? Incites the erection. We're somewhere around here. All right, yep, right here. So the purge has begun. For
couldn't wait for that.
What the fuck? Why did that just happen? So yeah, Twitter did start banning some of the Antifa accounts now that they're done with them. They're done playing with their little toys, and now it's time to go back into your boxes.
Now it would be interesting to find out if they ban them, because those are the pages where they actually plan the violence, or if they just, broke terms in some other way. I'd be interested to see the reason why they gave these Antifa pages.
Yeah, for sure.
But
for sure.
And probably we've probably talked about it in 3 or 4 podcasts by now, but the hammer coming down on Antifa, it is not going to be long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was just their social media profiles getting the hammer, but they will get the hammer in the streets as well.
The first step is to get rid of their communications.
Exactly. Exactly. When did freedom of speech stop being a liberal foundation?
When emotions and feelings took a forefront into everybody's priorities.
Yeah, you're probably right. When people were so offended by how Donald Trump made them feel.
Which isn't even fucking true. Because they're most of these motherfuckers are so, I guess, like outrage addicted that these aren't even fucking real emotions. It's just fucking habit at this fucking point.
Yeah. Yeah. Outrage porn, basically.
Yeah, I mean, just like you're watching, exactly. Just like when you're watching porn all the fucking time, you're desensitized to it. After all this outrage, now it's just, it's just who you fucking are, basically. Just a miserable motherfucker, basically.
Yep.
Stuck in your fucking ways. But a good laugh could fucking change that.
Yeah, it's hard to laugh when you're looking for victimization and everything.
Yep. Damn right it is.
Makes it real hard to crack a smile when you're constantly looking for your new oppressor.
Yep. Nothing's funny when you're a victim.
Exactly.
Therefore, don't be a victim.
Victimhood is never the answer. Be a victor, not a victim. I don't know who said that first, but I've heard it a million times.
So this is actually a huge story here that I've sort of broken into little pieces over time on Gab. So before the inauguration, there was an outbreak, a COVID outbreak amongst the National Guard. 14 people. Then they had the inauguration. They kicked these people out of the Capitol, and they were sleeping into a fucking in a parking garage, which was a huge story among a certain portion of the population, suppressed to the other half. And now the story is this bitch brought them chocolate chip cookies the next day. But they had their photo opportunity. They had a COVID outbreak, and they cast these motherfuckers aside. And now there's over 150, 200 of them have fucking COVID because of most likely them all being crammed up into this fucking little, like sardines in this parking garage. It's a huge story. It's not just, it's not just the parking garage. It's not just the COVID. It's the hows and the whys.
Yeah, where's all that super spreader energy?
Well,
people
dude,
aren't on that same tip anymore, huh?
There's nobody in DC. All the fucking hotels are empty.
Yeah, all the Airbnbs all canceled.
What the fuck are these people doing?
Airbnb canceled all of their reservations for inauguration week too. So
Again, like just like the women's sports, zero thought, zero foresight, zero thought of any sort of like they can't even make a fucking Venn diagram, kindergarten shit. This is who the fuck was voted in. Come on, come the
yeah,
fuck
and I
on.
heard a lot of people asking the question, who's responsible for these soldiers getting banished to a parking lot?
The president of the United fucking States.
Yeah, that title would be Commander in Chief, and the National Guard does fall under that category for anybody that's interested. The person with the final word is the president.
But too bad he was asleep at about 5:30. That George Papadopoulos said Joe Biden isn't ready for prime time. No shit, he's a bed at 5:30. Back of the fucking line, George.
I doubt he even heard about the soldiers being banished to a parking lot. He probably slept right through it because it didn't break till like
He
7 at
damn
night.
sure. Maybe if he lives 4 fucking years, maybe he'll take a question about it after he gets out of fucking office.
Yeah, and his answer will probably be, "Come on, man, give me a break."
My son was a fucking National Guardman.
If
I would have
anybody
made him
knows,
sleep on the floor too.
and
Hunter's
then,
always sleeping on the floor, looking for crack rocks under the couch.
yeah, he just act like he was sleeping when you walked in the room, Joe.
And he's taking a wallet. And he just thought he liked it when always thought Hunter liked to touch his butt. He was just poking his wallet out of his back pocket.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. And then you can go back to all the tweets where he said, if you don't know how to treat our troops, you shouldn't be in a position to lead them and shit like that. You know what I mean?
How about when he called them dumb bastards because they didn't clap at his stupid fucking joke or whatever the fuck he said?
Yeah,
He said,
exactly.
clap, you dumb bastards.
People don't even believe that. Like that people haven't even seen that video. You know what I mean? Like we're getting to the point now where guys, the campaign is over. The election is over. Now it's go time, and Joe Biden has a record. He has been in Washington for over 50 years. He has a record. Well, maybe you should have took a look at that before you hate voted. His record is not a good one on any of these issues to begin with. So anybody that's surprised right now, you're getting exactly what you voted for. Like, this is it. This is what you wanted.
This is the beginning of it. This is a little game called Just the Tip right now.
Yeah.
Hold on, it's coming.
It's coming. Oh, it's coming in a big way.
Especially if Joe dies in office. Kamala's got that strap on tucked into her pants. She's just ready to whip that thing out.
Yeah, so the big major change that's positive that has been made so far is that when you sign on to the whitehouse.gov, now you have to pick your pronouns.
or is whitehouse.gov or no, is Antifa still taking you to whitehouse.gov?
I'm not sure. Probably.
If you want to get to the White House website, just type in antifa.org.
Antifa.org.
That is the quickest way to get to whitehouse.gov.
Yeah, it's funny too how Antifa has turned into went from an idea to a distinguished group of people now. It's no longer just an idea, and all it took was an election.
Their time has come. All they got to do is keep poking the bear.
Yep.
Biden's ass is not going to tolerate being fucking embarrassed on a national scale. And if you don't think that his best buddy, the Mr. whatever the fuck his name is, Jean, I can't fucking pronounce the China guy's fucking name.
Xi Jinping.
There you go. Mr. Sichuan fucking Chicken Ping. If you don't think that he's in Biden's ear for a second telling him how to deal with the people and how to fucking quell uprisings, you've got another fucking thing coming.
Yeah, he might actually bring in some Chinese nationals to work on the problem for him.
if these videos haven't all been scrubbed off the internet yet, I mean, I definitely implore people to look at the CCP, the way that they enforce masks on fucking little old ladies all across the country. I've seen countless videos. I don't know if they're still on the internet. I doubt it, but I've seen countless videos of them just fucking tackling bitches, beating the
Yeah.
fuck out of little old ladies. It's there.
Manhandling women.
It's there. And these are the people that we're looking up to, how we're going to model this fucking country. In charge of our energy, in charge of our fucking media, in charge of our social media.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's a coming. The train is moving down the tracks at a steady pace, a much steadier pace than I anticipated for Mr. Biden.
Mr. Szechuan sauce, yes, sir. So then they dropped that, they moved the troops back, and they had to do that. Biden had to make sure the troops got back in there before the My Pillow guy showed up and completely fucking turned into a hero again.
Yeah, the My Pillow guy was definitely gonna show up on the scene and hand out pillows and feel all the thunder.
Here's
and you can guarantee too, if Trump was still on Twitter, he would have fucking offered all those troops to sleep in Trump Tower for free, I'm sure.
They're all there now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're all there now.
But yeah, he missed the opportunity to save the day because he's been silent.
Very, very, very interesting and calculated.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of calculation that I expect from them, even when they mess up.
Oh, and the next day, 0 questions on the troops being banished to a parking garage for the press secretary.
No, yeah, the story is the cookies that this bitch bought or had her slave force make all fucking night while she was sleeping.
Yeah, let them eat cookies. That's her Marie Antoinette moment. Who cares if they're sleeping on cold concrete?
No, they're probably sleeping on the pizza boxes that a couple senators brought them pizzas, so they're probably using the boxes.
Yeah,
a little bit of insulation, a little cushion.
How about bang bang for the Fang Fang? Eric Swalwell saying that my office is closed, but starting tomorrow morning when we open, you guys are more than welcome. Like tomorrow, bro. Yep. It's winter right now.
He's got
19 degrees in DC tonight, pal.
It's got to be scrubbed first.
Yeah,
deeply scrubbed.
And then I saw people on Twitter talking about all these guys deserve 3 hots and a cot. It's like, hey, bud, I don't know if you realize this, but these are adult men that are in the armed forces. They should be treated well because they're in our nation's capital in America, but they don't get 3 hot meals a day. Like, that's not what the army gives you. That's not what the military gives you. They had their first hot meal in all month of being in DC because a soup kitchen brought them hot soup.
Yeah, I mean, everything else. I know our governor, JB, sent pizzas. I know a couple guys have brought them pizza.
Yeah, Madison Cawthorn was the first one. He showed up actually in the fucking parking place.
Yeah.
Despicable, man. Absolutely despicable. It shows exactly how much they actually mean what they say.
They were saying stories coming out that there was one power outlet in that fucking garage, in that parking garage.
Yeah,
all these
one
bathroom.
Soldiers.
Insane.
One bathroom, one power outlet for 5,000 soldiers at the very least.
Crazy, man. Zero fucking thought, zero intelligence by the people that are telling us that they got science on their side. Everything they're doing is so fucking well thought out, so fucking transparent.
Yeah.
It's not transparent. It's empty.
And who's in charge? The answer is apparently the Capitol Police. But who's in charge of the Capitol Police? The Congress, which would be Pelosi and Schumer now. And then who's in charge of them? The president. So every step up in the chain of command is yo people. You know what I mean? So I don't want to hear any questions about how could this happen.
It is allowed.
It's because no one really cares. No one. They say they care plenty, but nobody really does.
I care, but if I say anything too loud, I'm getting locked the fuck up and probably beheaded for being a militant white. I'm far too big. Cops were telling me in high school that to stop fighting when they see me coming because they're gonna have to shoot me. They don't want to fight with me. They don't want to risk me beating the shit out of them. They're like, just stop. We don't want to shoot you. I will get headshotted. Fuck that. They won't give me a chance. It can talk. Shoot it.
The mob.
What do you think about our history being fucking rewritten as it fucking, not only as it happened, what they're doing with Joe Biden's likes and fucking comments that they're purging in real time, sort of like what they did with those votes. But what do you think about
same game plan for sure?
They're rewriting Kamala fucking a story about Kamala when she was talking about, not in a good way about prisoners. They scrubbed it completely, put out a new fucking version.
Yeah, what do they call that? Stealth editing. They've been doing that for a long time, man, since the mid 2000s.
And it's a huge thing now. It came out a little bit later. I posted something a little bit later that Washington knows the Boston Globe. Let me go up and find it real quick.
The real question is did they just update their story, or did they do it at the request of the fucking Harris camp? You know what I mean? That's where the actual juice is in that story.
It's a bigger thing, because as you're going to see right here, is that the Boston Globe has this new fresh start, revisiting the past for a better future. So because these fucks couldn't be bothered to do their job right the first fucking time, actual journalism, actually investigating, now you could submit your application to rewrite history.
Yeah, completely disregard what, the harm that might have been caused to anybody by a bad story being written about them.
Exactly. Like regardless of what you wrote, and even if it was right or was wrong, what you wrote is history.
Yeah, that's a part of the public record.
Crazy.
And for what reason? You know what I mean? For what reason? What is a good enough reason to go back and fix history? And exactly what reason was that Harris story went back and stealth edited?
The only reason is because these motherfuckers saw what happened to Columbus now, so they're trying to fucking fix any holes in the story as it happened, so that in the future, when we're all fucking dead, they can lie to our great grandkids about what the fuck really happened here.
Right. But I don't even think it's like, I don't think it's this Boston Globe thing. I think they're just like a trash mag. Nobody cares about Boston Globe.
Yeah,
and to refresh their image. I'm just pointing out that this is just the beginning, and you're going to see a lot of this from a lot of publications. And our history is, you're seeing it with Trump. Regardless of whatever good things he did, nobody's going to learn about it 20 fucking years from now. Yeah, for sure. I think that all these fucking newspapers, all the media, all these talking heads, they're all malicious in their intent. Every single one of them.
This one here
that you agree with, they're also malicious in their intent, just usually the other way around. They're the equal and opposite reaction of the other side.
I don't think any militia's really got a solid chance of doing anything. I think those days are pretty much over, because you just get drone strike to fucking hell.
Yeah, now they got the actual Pentagon working on.
Yeah, like there was a day and time where you could make a sticky grenade and battle with a tank, but you ain't throwing no rocks at drones.
No, sir.
I hate to tell you.
That shit's wild.
Here we got another story, just further telling you that facial recognition was last century. that if you that phone that there are men in your phone and they are being used against you. Have
Very
no
much
doubt
so.
about it. Have no doubt about that, man.
Very much so. And if anything, this whole Russiagate taught you about the FISA court too, man. In FISA, they can get a FISA warrant against one person, be surveilling that one person. If you call that person, that triggers surveillance on you. And if somebody calls you, that triggers surveillance on them. They call it the 3-hop technique, which is completely legal in our government, where you could surveil an entire group of people with one warrant based on nothing.
Well, if you're listening, what up, Hoppers? Hoppa Coppas?
Hoppa Coppas. What up, TurboCast? Thanks for stopping in, bro.
Welcome, welcome.
So the Great Awakening is still incoming. You know what I mean? And it's going to take the first 100 days of this administration for people to actually see what's really happening.
That's the irony of why I've been sharing that old fucking George Bush quote, man. You fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again, because these people are fucking idiots.
Can't
How
fool
did
me
they not
again.
learn this? How are we falling down this fucking path again with these same groups of people? Like, as soon as you seen Obama, Bush standing behind Biden, all fucking smiling like they're up to something.
And Mike
you,
Pence.
Haven't we been here before? Does
Yeah.
nobody fucking remember doing this?
They're all on the same team. Bush, Biden, Obama, Clinton. It's one team.
So
The Uniparty.
I guess here on Chords v Plugs, we can confirm that they can fool you again.
They will recycle the same old plan, and it will work. It worked once, it'll work again.
Yeah. Fuck them.
This is a fucking hilarious story, bro.
Petty
I
news?
laughed out loud for this one, literally.
Petty good. Yeah, Trump dismissed all the butlers before the Bidens arrived at the White House, so they would have nobody there to help them when they arrived.
Yeah,
It is pretty good.
Trump leaves the White House to jump on Marine One to fly to, where was he? And where did he fly to? Abrams
Florida?
or Andrews,
Yeah,
Fort Andrews.
Yes, sir. Fort
Andrews Air Force Base. So on his way out, he turns around and says to his wait staff, "You guys have done pretty good for the last 4 years. Why don't you take the rest of the day off?"
It's gold.
And Biden fires the head butler before he even makes it to the White House. So
yeah. There was nobody there to hire any staff. There was nobody there to do anything. Biden sort of fucked himself.
Did you see the Bidens? They when they walked up to the White House, the door was shut.
They had to open their own door, and they didn't know what to do. Yeah. They had no idea what the fuck to do.
Oh, I loved it. I literally laughed out loud when this story broke and that came out, that's why the door was closed and they couldn't get in originally. Oh, that's the super troll. And that's why Donald Trump was my president.
So fucking petty, but I have been known to call myself as the petty king sometimes.
Right? I've related so much to this man over the last 4 years. That's some shit I would do and laugh all the way to fucking Andrews Air Force Base about it. Oh yeah, here's the big lie. Everyone keeps wanting to talk about the big lie, trying to make the correlation to Nazism about fucking election fraud. Here's the big lie. We're 8 months into this pandemic and Donald Trump still doesn't have a plan to get this virus under control. I do. Apparently his plan was to win the presidency and then tell us all there's nothing that could be done about the fucking path of the virus over the next couple of months.
But as he's saying this, Fauci's saying that we're plateauing. Mm-hmm. Fauci went off script.
Yep. And not just that, but they kind of tried to throw Fauci under the bus too by
Well,
saying that Trump had no plan, that he had no infrastructure set up,
mhm.
so there's nothing we could do because we have to build the infrastructure. And Fauci was like, well, there are 1 million vaccines being taken every day, so things are happening. The military did distribute the vaccine to the states. The states are just fucking up everything. But, a month ago, the states fucking up the plan, that would be directly a result of Donald Trump. It was Donald Trump's fault that the states couldn't do it. But now that it's Biden in control, now
it's
the
still
states are catching the heat.
it's still Donald Trump's fault.
Oh yeah, they're trying to make it that way, but even Fauci was like, "No, that's not really true." But he
Yeah.
got his
Something. Well,
Rachel
somebody
Maddow show, so he's happy.
he had to say something though, because otherwise he was going to look like a complete fucking idiot. Because Biden's saying there's nothing we can do, but then all his fucking liberal supporters across the country are opening their fucking cities back up
Yep.
because they're gonna fucking live. They know that there's no way they're gonna fucking win another election if they keep us locked down for another fucking year. Everybody's gone, and
Not
they might
just
have
that,
got their
but there's
guy in.
absolutely no science behind any of the lockdowns, period. Like none of it's based on science. None of it. Zero.
Well, I mean, I know you've been saying this for a year. I know I've been saying this for a year. I mean, once again, the theme seems to be zero thought, zero foresight. Kindergartners can make fucking Venn diagrams.
Maximum chaos, maximum destruction.
If you don't think that all of this shit was a big fucking ploy to get at Orange Man, come on. Come the fuck on.
Come the fuck
I
on.
not an Orange Man supporter, nor voted for him.
This is a classic case of
obvious of what the fuck is going on and what's been going on, what's happened.
This is just a classic case of the campaign trail does not fucking correlate with once the fucking election is over.
Got to take a quick pause to put this asshole on blast. I put a story up on about the National Guard having COVID. I got it from a good source, somebody that I trusted, so I posted it on Gab 3 hours before any mainstream news outlet put a link up that I could share. I felt comfortable sharing it, so I shared it. Somebody called it fake news, and I just got to put this PSA that while we do take our credibility seriously, we encourage everybody to investigate for themselves before they fully believe or dismiss anything. But if you accuse us of fake news, you better come correct every fucking time.
Boom. Boom. If we say something that's not verifiable, we'll let you know. You know what I mean? We're not claiming things that aren't real here. That's not what we're going out. It's not what we're setting out to do. Everything we bring up will be based on fact or based on information that's available at the time.
If you guys are coming back from our last episode, I actually went back and got some information on some of the stuff and that I was talking about, some of the Hiram Abiff stuff, some of the Shakespeare stuff, some remote viewing information. So I don't know if we'll have time to get into all that today, but everything that I say to my knowledge is as factual as I fucking can say it.
Growl says, I'm in charge of an army vaccine disbursement base in Harvey. I'll let you know when we allow the actual public to get the vaccine.
No thanks.
No, yeah, I'm totally not interested in getting it, but knowing when the regular public can get it is probably going to be pretty important information.
Yeah, because you better have enough food and hunker down just in case somebody tries to go steal that shit, you know? We got a fucking real life Cobra situation going on. Yeah. And Biden has to unleash the G.I. Joes to save us.
And we'll know the actual day when the vaccine gets allowed to, the regular public. Because right now people think they already can go get vaccinated, but that's not the case.
Well, if you get one of those lucky emails like the African or Indian prince that wants to give you 10 million rupees.
Yeah. Yeah. All you have to do is send me $3,000. I will send you $10,000.
And a vaccine.
And a vaccine. You'll be the first 100 in line.
Yep.
Golden ticket.
$3,000 or 2 vagine pics. Your choice.
Yeah, I'm completely uninterested in the vaccine, and I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I think I could deal with the sweet and sour sniffles a little bit better than
Yeah, absolutely.
the average Joe.
Yeah, I'm same, man, same. I'm not fucking worried about it. I'm I'll do the mask shit if that's what everybody fucking, if I'm going somewhere where I feel like there's elderly people going to be at risk, the grocery store, fuck it. But I'm definitely not getting that fucking shot. Not fucking doing it.
And I don't care what anybody says. I refuse to wear a mask, period. And like if somebody like you were saying, if I go to the store, if I go to the gas station and the person working there asks me to put a mask on, I'll just go somewhere else. Like I'm fine with that. And not because I hate grandma, because I'm an American and you're not going to tell me what to do. Principles.
What are those?
Says Beijing Biden's buddy Build Back Better. Biden rescinds Trump order banning Chinese communist involvement in U.S. power grid. What? That was my response to when I read the story originally. What?
Yeah, why? What's your logic for this one,
Because
Biden?
it doesn't say Chinese nationals. You know what I mean? It says Chinese communist involvement. That's like a completely different story. Why
Yeah,
would the Chinese Communist Party be involved in our power grid? Period.
Russia bad, China good. They're the good communists.
Yeah, they built 5G. They can handle it for us.
Huawei is fucking rearing to go to get us 6G. They're gonna let us just skip this 5G shit. We're going straight to 6. They're ready to install it now.
Right? It just has to be installed directly into your fucking cerebral cortex. Blessed 3, welcome to the stream.
Yo.
If anybody out there has any questions or anything that they want to hear us talk about or cover or inform us about, even throw it up in the chat. Let us know you're here.
I mean, if everything wasn't already made in China, now your power is. Fuck.
And our energy will once again be coming from brown people that we are simultaneously killing. What a sad story that is.
This is fucking shameful.
From woke to broke.
Shit.
Mr. Hank Aaron. How it started and how it's going.
You done messed
Hank,
up,
but you should have just stayed inside your house.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck, man? A fucking PR stunt, bro? For a PR stunt? Jesus.
I guess now he could be remembered in history as one of the good guys with bunny ears around good guys, obviously.
Was this the hammer that was supposed to get dropped? Were they talking about Hammer and Hank?
Hammer and Hank. Hank got hammered.
So this is an interesting story. I mean, if you do think that that China's government has anything to do with the TikTok fucking company, then maybe there is something to what goes viral and what doesn't, what gets throttled, what gets shared a little bit more than than other stories, because you definitely see it on Twitter if you fuck around with Twitter at all.
Oh yeah, it's blatant on Twitter. The trending section is horribly blatant.
So what's to make you think that this new blackout challenge where you fucking you kung fu your fucking ass isn't being fucking purposely fucking trended?
Yeah, and I mean the connections between TikTok and the Chinese government are concrete at this point. You know what I mean?
It's fucking Huawei. It's the same shit. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Blessed 3 says clear out Saucon. I don't know. I don't follow that. Clear out Saucon.
I do not either.
Clear out Silicon Valley, maybe. I could dig that if that's what you're saying. Later, baby.
This is a big story that I didn't see get any sort of fucking attention yesterday, or that I don't know if this was yesterday or the day before. Literally, nobody is talking about this.
This busted yesterday. It's starting to get around real slow. They're gonna turn it into the extenuation of the coup attempt is what it's going to turn into during the impeachment. I think, though. I think this is going to come back up in the impeachment because they're going to use it to try to paint a picture that wasn't necessarily the picture being painted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But this just goes to show that Trump was planning to expend some of the ammunition he had saved up, but once again, surrounded by vipers.
The actual coup, the literal evidence is all there for you. You have the preponderance of the evidence right in front of your face. As soon as, I mean, if there was any doubt, as soon as I heard that they were hiding troops from him behind his back, it was like, oh my God. All right. They obviously have not let this motherfucker get anything done that could make him look good.
Yep. Anything that even had a chance to make him look good, they put the kibosh on.
It really, that day really opened my eyes to what exactly he's been working with and working against.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. For everybody that wants to talk about a coup and sedition and insurrection, and
there's been one going
treason
for 4 fucking years.
Yeah. Blatantly too, and they laugh about it. Laugh about it. When the story broke about them hiding troops in I believe it was Syria, when that story actually broke,
it was Afghanistan.
Was it Afghanistan?
It was Afghanistan.
When the story actually broke, the guy that broke the story, that gave the information to the news, was laughing about it. He said, haha, yeah, Trump had no idea how many troops we had over there. He thought we only had 2,000.
Tammy Duckworth, someone who lost limbs serving in the military, was saying that Trump is wrong for trying to pull our troops out, that we need more troops in the Middle East. What? Literally nobody was saying anything in support of Donald Trump. Everybody was saying that these troops should be there. It was great that they hid these troops from him. These warmongering fucking psychopaths.
That's another thing,
man.
All
they are.
The old guard, the old left, the old liberals, you know what I mean? The center leftists, their principles have always been First Amendment, freedom of speech, anti-war in the Middle East. It's
always been a ruse, though, man. It's always been a ruse. Both parties have always been fucking aiming towards one fucking goal. If you can't fucking believe it, look at what the fuck's happening finally now. It's fine. The veils are finally being fucking lifted. You're seeing the uniparty for what the fuck it is. It's always fucking been there. And now they're not even trying to fucking hide it anymore because they think that the world is ready to fucking embrace it.
Yeah. It's because they,
or at least soy and passive enough to bend over for it willingly.
Yeah, well, they just turned all the corporate establishment stances they've turned all that into the cathedral. You know what I mean? Yeah. Basically, it's the cathedral.
When you find yourself fucking agreeing with the fucking large corporations, yeah, you really better take a good hard look at where your feet are standing.
Yeah, are you really the resistance if you agree with corporate America? If you agree with war in the Middle East, if you agree with tech censorship, or censorship of any kind?
Of any fucking kind.
Are you
Yeah.
really the resistance? Nope, you're an idiot.
Yeah, survey says no. Survey definitely says no. So yeah, I don't know what happened here. I was trying to figure that out. If Twitter didn't actually ban Gab, I think that seems to be the case. I don't know why they would remove their fucking Twitter page on their own, on their own.
Yeah, no, I don't see that happening. I'd imagine they were putting too many unpaid advertisements for Gab on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Had to clear out competition, it looks like to me.
And probably where this pedo lawsuit's going to go. They had to take off just one more person that's going to be throwing that everywhere.
Yep. I seriously hope that all these fucking different countries sue the fuck out of Twitter. That these pedo lawsuits, I hope they sue the fuck out of Twitter. I hope Twitter loses everything, just like Patreon's about to lose everything. You deserve it. Here's your prize.
Last night,
calamari.
Sidney Powell did unleash the calamari. It was
Who saw that shit coming, huh?
It was buttered and fucking covered. It was fucking fresh lemon squeezed all over that shit. It is exactly what the fuck we said was going to happen when Trump redid that. Rescinded that executive order on the lobbyists.
Yep.
We knew this was coming. We told you it was coming. So we hope all you Trumpeteers saved up your stimulus. You're saving up all that unemployment that you got, and you're ready to give Mr. Donald Trump $29.95 a month for the rest of your motherfucking life, or you ain't a patriot.
Yep. The grift is not on the downturn. This is the century of the grift.
But he gave up his billionaire lifestyle, and he had nothing to gain from being president.
Anybody that legitimately believed that was just fucking blowing smoke, you know what I mean? Nobody
You want Sidney Powell leading your fucking super PAC right now, JR? Blizza?
Do I want Sidney Powell leading it?
Yeah.
I don't know. See, the thing is with this particular super PAC is that it's not affiliated with either party. So they're not giving money to Republicans and they're not giving money to Democrats, which begs the question, who are they giving money to?
The upcoming lawsuits of Donald J. Trump Fund.
I think it might be the upcoming the what do you call it? The unveiling of the new party. I think that's what it's leading up to.
I think that's just more harm than fucking good, man. That is the opposite of unity, and I'm not talking about like both sides coming together, but at least if there is ever going to be a Republican fucking candidate, a Republican president that has a chance again.
Yeah, the unified front. This isn't the beginning of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think anything that has to do with, because a lot of people woke up to the whole game of Q, the fortune teller Q, and fucking Donald Trump, that he didn't do any of the, there's no excuse for him not pardoning Assange other than self-interest, other than being a fucking bitch and bending the knee to people that he himself has said were the enemy, the deep state, everybody that, intelligent people, a lot of intelligent people believe and fucking know and hold to their fucking heart. He, gave some validity to a lot of it and then immediately turned his fucking back on it, Yeah. The few things that you could say about him were, maybe, just maybe he could do this and maybe he wasn't such a piece of shit at all.
Yeah. There were definitely question marks. They weren't answered up until they got answered. You know what I mean? There was room still, but now there's no more room. And it wasn't just the people that he was fighting against. It was the people that he placed that he bowed to in the end. You know what I mean? Just like that Gab you just posted a minute ago about Rosen, about wanting to replace Rosen with a even more pro-Trump AG. He could have done that. because he's the fucking president still. But he didn't, because of the people that he placed around him, that he nominated, that would not have had the power to influence him if he didn't put them there.
He didn't. He took the nominations that other people told him to fucking do. Because, I mean, this is, if he had any idea what the fuck he was doing,
yep,
a lot of this shit could have been avoided, you know?
A lot of the people that were surrounded him were directly placed there by McConnell and Pence.
Yeah, man, for sure. For sure.
So, and he went out of his way to get rid of fucking pro-Trump people and replace them with never Trump people to try to unify the Republican Party. You know what I mean? So the attempt to unify the Republican Party, it happened. Trump did try to bring them together, but they were never for Trump. Republicans were never Trumplicans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just a means to an end. He was the vehicle for them to grab more power. So part of me does think that we do need a third party, that this Patriot Party might be a pretty good idea, just to take away the establishment power of the GOP that doesn't belong there anymore.
I mean, to me, all it is just a fucking rebranding like the fucking CIA is doing right now. I see through that fucking bullshit. I just think it's a pissing contest. You know what I'm saying? It's just more nonsense, more jargon, more patting yourselves on the fucking back. It's unnecessary. There's actual work that could be fucking done.
I think basically the opposite. Like, if an actual rebranding of the GOP itself without making a third party would be the best thing to do in this circumstance, because the GOP already has their establishment. You know what I mean? They already have the infrastructure laid out. If that Patriot Party, quotation marks, can take over the GOP instead of having to make their own third party system that's going to take 100 years before it's effective.
Exactly.
That's the real play.
Just change what you got. Exactly. Fuck starting over and building something new. Change what the fuck you got, because it can be done. Demand the fucking
the same
change.
Reason why like Ron Paul or Rand Paul ran as Republicans. You know what I mean? They're libertarians. They're not Republicans. But that's the only way to get to that stage, is to pick a party and roll with it.
And do what the fuck you can. And man, Ron Paul had a lot of fucking success. They loved that man. He fucking retired and they begged him to go back.
And he didn't pull a Bernie. He legitimately stuck to his principles his entire career.
Genuine, man. I mean, Ron Paul's a fucking saint. And I don't throw that shit out there lightly. Ron Paul is a saint on earth, a prophet, all the above.
Anybody that can stick to their values in the cesspool that is Washington, D.C. deserves fucking respect, as far as I'm concerned.
It's the best presidential candidate I've ever seen.
Yeah, I see you down there, Bless 3. I see your comments. If you come with something a little bit funnier, I'll put it up on the screen, but that shit's not funny. That's juvenile as fuck. It's like 12-year-old humor. Be better than that. Jokes?
Yeah. It's like all these idiots that have been fucking beating the dead horse that is Donald Trump for the last 4 years. It's no difference than a fucking dick and fart joke for me. It ain't funny.
Right? It's just like all the people on Twitter that say dumbass says what? Like, it doesn't work when you type it, bro. It just doesn't. It's not funny.
I found this article yesterday. It was an interesting read. Says that Silicon Valley's ruined work culture, that their biggest export is the mixing of work life and home life. And I'm like, that doesn't sound too bad until you actually read the fucking article. And they're talking about how it's the new culture to work the 996, 12 hours a day for 6 days a week. That's slavery. They're normalizing slavery, is what it is. Don't go home. It's just like the CCP sweatshops with the suicide nets. You just fucking live there.
Yeah, and it goes back to the Google, the way that Google built their company. You know what I mean? Nobody has hours. You have jobs, and you just get them done when you get them done.
Yeah.
That's how it works. And that's how they designed it. That's why there's skee balls and arcades and all this stuff at the place, because they're talking you into working forever. Forever.
This
And
is
that's
not a
how they did
job.
it. They
This
said,
is
"Oh,
your
you
life.
don't have to work 9 to 5. You can work whenever you want." But
Here.
that means work always.
Yes.
Take 5-minute break to play a video game in the employees lounge, and then back to your 8-hour shift of getting 15 hours of work done in 10 hours. I totally agree with that. Totally.
And we have Russia. Russia's on fire today.
Yeah,
They're
Moscow.
they're showing they're definitely showing us how to do it. Definitely showing us how to do it.
Yeah, Russia don't give a fuck on either end. You know what I mean? The separatist Navalny group and the police. Like, both sides. They don't give a fuck, and they will show you how to do it. Brutal. The police are basically run by fucking crime families. I'm not too up to date on the Navalny guy. I know that he got poisoned. I know that he went back to Russia by his own volition, and he got
just
arrested
just
immediately.
to just to start this shit. He thought the time was right. He's like, anything that the Americans do, he knows the Russians want to fucking up it. So this is the perfect fucking time to
Yeah.
fucking light the fucking match.
Yeah, for real. I'm gonna have
Russian
to look into
trolls,
him.
literally Russian trolls in real life right now is what you're looking at.
Right? You wanna know what all those Russian bots look like? Turn on the live feed of
Yeah,
fucking Moscow right now.
yeah. Like in Soviet Russia, they are actual keyboard warrior. Keyboard warrior is real.
Right, they're out there with motorcycle helmets and keyboards. That's great. I'm gonna have to look into this Navalny guy though, because I haven't really researched him too much. I know that he was the opposition to Putin. I know that supposedly he was poisoned.
So we could call him French fry as opposed to the poutine.
Yeah.
He's just regular fries. This was another interesting article that seemed sort of harmless until you actually read the fucking article. So, oh, they're putting up little fucking coffin-like pods for the homeless to sleep in. If you know, that sounds great. If you've never lived in an area where there's homeless or been around that lifestyle and realize people are going to be getting shanked over these fucking things. People are going to
Yeah.
be living in these things, having babies, ODing in these fucking
Right.
things.
They're gonna be dragging those fucking things around the city to where they want to put them.
That was my first thought. And then I read the article, and here we have another frightening quote out of a fucking other, what you would think to be a harmless article. While these emergency pods could become popular among the homeless, there's a possibility that down the line, those that who could no longer afford tiny homes, will find the coffin-like pods a cheap alternative.
They want that to be your house.
Like I've looked into getting a couple storage containers and like making a crib out of it, but that's like 2 40-foot fucking boxes. You can stand in it, you can stack them, you can do some shit. This is it's a coffin like pod. I mean, the goths must love it, but it's not for me.
Right? Ozzy has one.
I where do you shit?
There's a hole
Outside? Yeah.
just right underneath you. You
Or
just
you
gotta
stick the catheter on?
you just gotta fold up your
What?
mattress. Use that as a
What?
backrest.
I'm like, man, this is what they want. This is what they want us to live in.
Varger 1987 One Rock says, "You will own nothing and be happy. Greetings." It's funny that one of the main proponents of that saying, "You will own nothing and be happy," is Bill Gates. Meanwhile, Bill Gates just became the #1 farmland owner in America.
Don't eat the soy, ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems.
Just again, just a blatant contradiction. You know what I mean? The Great Reset, you will own nothing, but Bill Gates is buying everything.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some more of Biden's campaign promises that he broke. Well, actually, let's go here first. You remember what were our main predictions for military action when Biden takes office?
Well, besides that, it was going to be fucking everywhere and not go away any fucking time soon.
Well, my main prediction was that within the first week, Syria.
Oh, you meant overseas. I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about domestically.
Oh no, not overseas. I'm talking about not
overseas.
Here. So Syria, day one of the Biden presidency, the first full day, a huge convoy, a U.S. convoy, rolled into the northeast section of Syria. And my second prediction was that Taiwan was going to be invaded within the first 100 days. And
we
do you
did
know
get
what
both
happened
of them
today?
Yeah, we had fucking we had what was it, 8 planes and
I believe it was 18 planes
18 planes
from China invaded Taiwan airspace today. All military planes, sub hunters, fighters, bombers today.
And and we did send a convoy rolling on into Syria.
Yep. So Syria and Taiwan, exactly what I said, what both of us were saying months ago.
Because it's funny.
Literally months ago.
And like now we don't just need the lithium. Now we need that oil again too.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Because the Keystone Access pipeline got shut down. By the way,
the Turkey Qatar pipeline,
17,000 union jobs disappear overnight,
making us energy, dependent on our own continent at least.
Yep, making us have to import more natural gas and oil to power our country, because just because we don't have the oil doesn't mean we don't need the oil.
And it's bigger than that though. I mean, now we have to ship this oil across the country on the railroads. This is just more and more money into the hands of the old guard.
And that's what money. It's funny though, because they cancel the Dakota Access pipeline immediately
for pollution,
and then they move this convoy into Syria. And the reason why they move the convoy into Syria is because they're going to build a pipeline from Qatar to Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to invade Syria so that they could build a pipeline over there.
And then we're going to have people there guarding that motherfucking thing 24/7.
Exactly. So we're going to have to buy energy from the Middle East again, while simultaneously killing brown people again. For what? It's
well, I've heard they hate us because we're free.
I tend to believe they hate us because we killed their fucking fathers.
I tend to, it's 50% that, and then 50% of the fucking amount of ignorance in the streets of the people that don't fucking know that.
Yeah. It's fucking wild, dude.
That you have no idea what the fuck your tax dollars are going for, and you just gave these sons of bitches a raise.
Yep. And not just that, not only did we cancel the Dakota Access pipeline, but they banned fracking on federal property. No new licenses for new fracking operations, which means that we're going to be even more dependent on foreign resources, which also means that the homegrown energy sector, all those jobs are going to be gone. So all you union workers, all you pipe fitters that let your fucking wife decide who you were voting for this time, you know who to blame for when you're losing your job.
Yeah, wait till that tax bill comes.
Yeah, because the taxes aren't going to stop. Doesn't matter if
Yeah.
you're not working.
Mm-hmm.
Still got that fucking bill in the mail, boys. Pennsylvania, the Keystone. Remember how much I said Pennsylvania is the Keystone leading up to the election? Pennsylvania is now unemployed.
New Mexico's next.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
crying. They're the ones crying today.
Texas will be right after that. There's a bunch of energy producing states that are, big parts of our GDP
Well,
now.
New Mexico actually voted for Biden, so they fit the actual. Texas barely held on to being red, and they'll
Yeah.
probably be fucking way red next election. But New Mexico fits the fucking buyer's remorse. They're
Yep.
feeling it right now.
Yep.
Oh,
Said,
unfortunately, we got like another 10 or 15 minutes. I gotta hop off of this because your boy's going back to work. The governor said that we can go back to work here in Illinois. So I'm gonna go and get a little 6 hours in.
Did you also see that they told the Chicago Teachers Union that if they don't go back to work, that they don't have work anymore?
Good. What the fuck? That would happen if I didn't go to work.
Exactly. Where the fuck have you
Welcome to the real world, motherfuckers.
All the leftists want to say it's hilarious now, just soaking up fucking right or Trumpers' tears. The adults in the room are talking again. Well, where the fuck were the adults for the last fucking year of this? The adults finally decided to show up. They probably got paid.
I've been asking the fuck have the adults been for a long fucking time. If there've been any adults on the scene, we probably could have avoided a lot of this shit the last 10, 20, 30 years. I mean, I don't think my generation was raised by fucking adults.
Nope.
Where the fuck are they? Where the fuck are the adults? Holla if you see one.
Right. We've been hollering. Ron Paul, baby. He's an adult. And even Rand Paul's been saying, fucking get the kids back in school. This is all based on bullshit for being, guided by science. You sure aren't using any science.
Varg's got a good point. I like the hemp for fuel, hemp for concrete.
Hemp for a lot of things, man.
All the fucking uses, as well as I think there should be definitely advancements in fucking tidal energy. I think tidal energy using the fucking oceans is definitely something that should be fucking looked at going forward. But I do love all the uses of hemp, how easy it is to grow. You can it's so fucking sufficient.
Hemp ropes, everything,
Yep.
all this stuff is way more green, produced way more green.
It's harder. It's hard. The hemp concrete is harder than regular fucking concrete.
Yeah. And now you'd think with all the marijuana legalization that's fucking waving across the country, that hemp production would be cranked right back up too.
We'll see what Bill Gates ends up growing.
Yeah, exactly. Humans in those fucking in those coffins.
It's tobacco.
He's just gonna have those coffins all over his farmland. I'm telling you.
Come on down to Gatesland and plug into the Matrix.
Right, with little treadmills right outside. So you wake up and you go jump on the treadmill and power the farm. Yeah, dude. So basically every single thing that Biden promised in the campaign, like every normal politician, he broke the promise in the first 100 days already. We're in day 7, I think. Well, is it 7? Well, what's today? 23. So day 3. It feels like 7, but it's only been 3.
It ain't been that long, exactly.
Like I said, when we opened this podcast, he does realize he has 4 years to ruin the country, right? He doesn't have to do it in the first week.
Oh, he's at super fast pace, just in case he dies.
Yeah, he's only working 9 to 5, so he's got to cram it all in. I'm serious. I don't think he even knows about the fucking soldiers being sent to the fucking parking garage. I think he was asleep by the time the news broke, and when he woke up, fucking Duckworth already took care of it for him.
He's definitely not using fucking Twitter. You know?
No. Oh no way.
Yeah.
You can't see a fucking phone screen.
See, and I'm thinking the same thing too, because it looked like he's got some fucking cataract shit going on in his eyes. Whenever they do actually get close up, his eyes look fucking foggy.
One of his eyes fucking popped on live TV before. Like, it literally popped.
That was his fucking contact, his fucking CIA contact lens. Yeah. It ruptured.
He's like, why is there blood coming from your eyeball?
Well, I'm not supposed to be sleeping in these things, but I just can't figure out how to get them off.
There's another thing we didn't talk about during what was it? It was him signing the executive orders when somebody in the background is heard talking about,
taking
you want to hear about
deal?
my life? I just signed a plea agreement.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's confirmed who the fuck that was, but Hunter wasn't there, and it's hilarious because it was
one
the day
thing
after,
they confirmed was Hunter was not in the building
because it was the day after he got inaugurated. Hunter was still he was still under a rock, if you get what I mean. If you catch my drift,
he was in the Lincoln bedroom doing absolutely zero sleeping. Grau said he texted you asking if the bar was open.
Bar is open. I got my
is open.
Only till 11 tonight.
For anybody that doubted me when I said that once the election is over, this pandemic disappears. Well, 3 days in, we have New York saying that we have to end the lockdowns. We have Chicago saying we have to end the lockdowns. We have California saying we have to end the lockdowns based on zero science. Because they have not released the science numbers to the public, period.
We talked about this on some earlier episodes. I had a communist come at me on my personal Facebook for this exact same fucking subject. That, it is not a sudden switch in narrative. And this was after Biden was announced as the projected. This is just him being announced as president-elect. I said this, put this out publicly. And here it is. Here it is. It's actually happening. Science.
Everybody thought that we meant election day. It's over. We said when the election is over.
Yeah. So, election day took a fucking month.
Yeah. I'm old enough to remember election day.
It was a month of my fucking life. Lasted forever.
For real. It could, I mean, it basically went up through the 6th. The Capitol riot is what really put the kibosh on everything. You know what I mean? That's 2 months. Election 2 months.
We got to wrap this up. I got to hop in the shower and shit.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Unfortunately, we had some issues yesterday, and we couldn't get a good. I had a lot of shit planned, and my whiteboard is filled up with stuff that I wanted to talk about from our previous episode. But we'll get back to that at another time. I'm sure we'll have
plenty more by Monday. I could guarantee you that. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Like you said, we'll be back. We're trying to be as consistent as possible. We're just starting off, so we're going to run into some hiccups here and there, but
Appreciate it, Turbo.
We will be back. Appreciate you, Turbo.
And if you remember, if you are listening to this broadcast, you are the resistance.
Stay positive, people.